we shall discuss Our Casuarina Tree by Toru Dutt. Toru Dutt is a Bengali translator, and in this particular poem, Our Casuarina Tree is written in reminiscence of her childhood. There was a casuarina tree in her courtyard of their ancestral home, and she is writing this poem in memory of that casuarina tree and in memory of the siblings with whom she used to play near the casuarina tree, some of them who are no more. So let us see the poem. Like a huge python winding round and round, the rock tree indented deep with scars. Up to its very summit, near the stars, a creeper climbs in whose embraces bound no other tree could leave. So, our casuarina tree has grown up like a huge python. Just like how a huge python would wind around its prey. The same way, this casuarina tree also has wind around wind around the tree, and its trunk is very rugged and with scars. To its very summit near the trees, near the stars, it almost reached the stars, so huge it is. A creeper climbs in whose embraces bound no other tree could live. No other tree could live in its embrace, but gallantly the giant wears the scarf, and flowers are hanging in crimson clusters all the bough among, whereon all day gathered bee and bird and bee. So it is like as a giant is wearing a scarf, it is filled with crimson colored flowers, and then whole day birds and bees are there around it. And oft at night the garden overflows with one sweet song that seems to have no close. Sun darkling from our tree when men repose, when all men are sleeping, we could see some music from that particular tree. When first my casement is wide open thrown, at dawn my eyes delighted on it rest. Sometimes and most in winter on its crest, a grey baboon sits statue-like alone, watching the sunrise, while on lower boughs his puny offspring leap about and play. So here, when every morning when she opened her window, what she sees is this casuarina tree. If it is a winter, she could see a grey baboon, a species of monkey, sitting there and still, just like statue-like, sitting there and watching the sunrise. While on the lower boughs of casuarina tree, we could see its puny, its offspring, weak offspring, playing. And far and near Kogilas hailed the day, and to their pastures went our sleepy cows. So far and near the cuckoo birds sing, and then cows go and pasture. Cows goes to pasture, and in the shadow on the broad tank cast by that hot tree so beautiful and vast, the water lily springs like snow in must. There is a tank nearby, and then in that water lilies are there. But not because of this magnificence dear is the casuarina to my soul. Why this casuarina tree is very particular for me is not because of its magnificence. Beneath it we have played, though years may roll. O sweet companions loved with love intense, for your sake shall the tree be ever dear. I have played with my siblings, my cousins and siblings, I have played with them, and in their memory this tree is very dear to me. Blent with your images, it shall arise in memory till the hot tears blind mine eyes. That images of them is filled in my eyes, that it rise in my memory, and then hot tears blind my eyes. What is that dirge-like murmur that I hear, like the sea breaking on a shingle beach? It is the trees' lament and eerie speech that happily to the unknown land may reach. So this, we can hear a kind of sound as though the dirge-like sound, the wave sound of the sea, and it is nothing but the trees' lament. Unknown yet well known to the eye of faith, I have heard that wail far, far away in distant lands by many a sheltered bay, when slumbered in his cave the water wraith, and the waves gently kissed the classic shore of France or Italy beneath the moon. So we can see, in the distant lands we can see I have also heard the same sound of this sea in distant land in France and Italy, when earth lay tranced in dreamless swoon, and every time the music rose before my inner vision rose a form sublime. My inner vision rose and reaches a sublime level. Thy form, O tree, as in my happily prime, I saw thee in my own loud native clime. So I have seen this tree in my happy prime, in my younger age, and in my native land, in my native place, in my ancestral home. Therefore I fain would consecrate a lay unto thy honor, tree, beloved of those who now in blessed sleep for a repose. Many of my siblings have died and gone, and then in memory of them and in paying a tribute to you. Why? Because my siblings loved you, and then I need to pay a tribute to you. That's why I'm writing this poem. Dearer than life to me, alas, were there. They were they were very dearer to life. Mayest thou be numbered when my days are done, when with death-like trees like those in Boverdale, under whose awful branches lingered pale. So there are trees in Borodale who are considered as deathless trees, and I want Casuarina tree also be numbered along with those trees, under whose awful branches lingered pale fear, trembling hope and death, the skeleton and time, the shadow, everything, all of these things, all of these emotions, all of this that makes one fear, everything surrenders before these trees and the Borodale. So the same like that I want to make Casuarina tree remembered. And though weak the verse that would thy beauty fain, or fain rehearse, may love defend thee from oblivion's curse. My verse, my lines may be very weak, but then it may not be able to describe your beauty, but then at least my love for you will defend the oblivion's curse. Oblivion is, what do you mean by oblivion? Oblivion means something like soon forgotten. So this tree will not be forgotten. And oblivion's curse, we almost say when something is being forgotten forever, we say it's oblivion's curse. So but it is not like I have defend you. My love for the tree has defend you from the oblivion's curse. That is how the poem ends. Thank you.